You see there in the background, in Goa, India, where we're still till tomorrow, and then that could be the 25th of November when I'll move from here by bus to Mumbai, on arriving there on the 26th, and then flying out very early at night time from there to Nairobi, that is in Kenya. And God only knows what will happen there and from there and onwards. Ultimately, supposed to go to Pretoria in South Africa. Exodus chapter 23, verse 18. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, or let the fat of my feast remain until the morning. The best of the first fruits of your ground you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil the young goat in its mother's milk. Okay, 2 verses with 3 seemingly unrelated topics. But I think by now we know that none of these topics are unrelated. It's not as if God was sitting there, here's Moses standing, and God's like, okay, I kind of need to make a plan. I need to form a nation here, but I've absolutely kind of no idea why these guys even here. They were just living there in Egypt, and yeah, I kind of sit into all this, and now they're kind of here, but now I need to, oh man, I didn't plan this very well. Now I need to come up with things on the fly. Oh, yeah, right, there's a thing about boiling goats in mother's milk, or there's a thing about first fruits, and you're not most likely would kind of, because you might hold the best back, and yeah, I need to maybe say something about that. And then there's blood, and blood is, I've told Noah as well, kind of blood is the life of an animal, and that's kind of bad. So must not eat blood. So I need to maybe remind them again of something about blood. And I've spoken so much about unleavened bread. So maybe I need to connect these two together: blood, unleavened bread, and milk. And I don't really know what I'm doing here. Moses, don't worry. One day some other guy will stand on a balcony in Goa in India, and maybe he'll come up with something. I have no idea what to say, right? But maybe he will come up with something that makes sense. Yeah, understandably, that is not how it works. Right, this is not. So yeah, and me standing here on the balcony in Goa, if it didn't make any sense, would not be able to come up with any kind of sense from these 2 verses with 3 seemingly unrelated topics. Now they are related, not unrelated. God didn't make a mistake. God was speaking. God knew what he was doing, and so he said it. Doof, 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 doof. It started off understandably. The verse 13. Remember where you need to pay attention to everything God is saying. So all of these things have an order here. Right? You must not make the mention of any God, not even take them on the lips. Right? A lot of this flows out ultimately from there. And then immediately after that, there's again a reminder of all the holy days. Because one thing that will help them to not do all these other things. So like these other religions, they have their holy days. They go out there and they celebrate this day, they celebrate that, they celebrate that. But you need those days as well, not so as to be the opposite of. They actually have those holy days because they are faking the truth, right? Fake news, right? They are faking the truth, so they have those days to portray as if they have the truth. But there is a truth. You need these holy periods to show your trust in me. You can go and listen to that again. I showed you that last fruit, that food that's left from the previous year, that you bring before there's any, and that's in the first one. And then that after that first fruits, you need to bring the fruit and the food, and then a thank you in the end. I explained that already. I'm not going through, but the whole point is through this, they're showing the dependency upon God. Ultimately, then there's no need for them, and they're going to the other religions. Like this morning there on the beach, this one guy was born in a Hindu family, but he's kind of a Buddhist, and all religions kind of all the same. So many people, locals here, like to, but he's from Nepal. Speak to me about this kind of stuff, and Yeah, how he said, I said, yeah, I mean, I asked you, see, you're a Christian, right? I said, yeah, I guess, seemingly white people are Christian, which is not true. And so he said, yes. I said, yeah, he celebrates Christmas as well. But this is the whole point of these. So that they don't have any excuse to say, oh, but we don't have any of our holy periods where we can be reminded of what God did. And these guys, they have. And man, that can lead us kind of, so then we want to go and do it on those days. No excuse for them, because God knew and God instituted this because this is a reminder of ultimately to show their trust in God. This is all it's about. It's, yes, a reminder of them being led out and all this, but in these verses, it's a reminder to show them that they need to trust God in everything. Right? So when you then come to verse 18 and 19 with these seemingly unrelated things, all of these are related because it's connected to the worship of the one true God. And things that can come in the place of the worship of that one true God. Lots of things can come into. Again, I said this in other videos as well. Calvin said our hearts are idol factories. We create idols left, right, and center, and in between all of those. Okay, if you, I don't know the different colors. This is green. This palm tree. That tree is green, and right, this is green, and kind of. I don't understand colors. Some people do, and they will get angry if you say this is this green, this is that green, and all. I don't know. It's green. Right, this is a bit now. I feel like we as humans, we will always find a way, not only to create one other God and two other gods, but thousands, millions. Look at this country I'm in at the moment, right? With millions of gods. So it's not just one color of God, not a left, right, and center. That is all the shades of the rainbow and in between. That's what we come up with all the time. That's what our hearts are like. Sure, it's easy to come up with gods. In that sense, atheists are right. We do come up with gods. I agree with him. But where I disagree with him is that the fact that we can't come up with a God like the triune God. That kind of God, like R.C. Sproul said. We can't come up with a holy God because that's the thing we fear the most. So, what is this offering of blood with anything leavened in it, and the fat of the feast remaining until the morning? What is this all about? Okay, it's not because Seventh Adventists, there are no refrigerators and they leave the fat out. Then the next morning they will be crawling with bugs and you will die or catch something, and so it's for that reason. Nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. The context here is clearly the worship of God. Not the health, not the wealth, not the fame, prosperity gospel, not being set free from Egypt, right? But why do I always forget the name of that gospel, liberation gospel? And not to be set free, to be wearing your flag, but to be set free to worship God, for those conservative nationalists out there. I mean, yeah, we make gospels as well, our conservative national people. Anyhow, yeah. So that's not what it's about at all. This is a hearkening back to what happened during the Passover.